Alrighty, we're joined here by Houston Dash defender and captain, Katie Lind. Katie, we'll just start with opening remarks, please, following today's match here against San Diego.
Yeah, I think we're a bit frustrated with the result. We kind of dug ourselves into a hole in the first half. But I think we did respond well after they scored their last goal. I think we really, kind of flipped the script and had the ball more in their half and really played some good soccer, but we can't wait to be in those positions to start playing like that. So I know we'll definitely look back on those moments of the game that we kind of let up and had some easy goals come in. But some positives to build on for sure. Just we got to start really locking it down and making sure that we're not giving those opportunities away.
Thank you for that. We'll take questions here. We'll start with Manny.
Hey, Katie. I do want to comment on the team resilience. I think it was, you mentioned on a little bit, I think, after the third goal, but when Barbara shot her goal outside the box, I feel like the team just gained a huge energy. What was going through your mind and what you thought everyone's team performance after that goal?
Yeah, I think we thought one goal at a time. I mean, I knew that we had belief that we were still in the game, even before that point, but that was really just the catalyst for us to really start pushing forward. And I think we really started to feel the rhythm of the game after that moment. And you could see just in the way that we were possessing and building up the field was much more positive, and we were definitely in their end much more. So I think we just can't wait for those kinds of goals or moments to happen in a game to feel like that. I think we need to kind of instill that belief earlier on in the game from ourselves, even if we're not scoring, but getting good chances on goal.
I know time over time Fabrice keeps mentioning about the mental, like you said, mental mindset and start of the game. I think it's a little bit hard after having a good performance against Orlando and strong for defensive, and maybe not so strong on this one. I think from your defensive end, how would you like to have gone defensively on this game?
Not concede 3 goals. I think, like you said, we had a really strong performance in Orlando, and I think we just needed to build off of that. And unfortunately, we gave up some fairly soft goals that just let them into the game. And I know we're better than that. We know we're better than that. And I think that's something that we have to start priding ourselves on more, and really start honing in on that on training and making sure that, we hold ourselves to the highest standard possible.
Go ahead.
Hi. Unfortunate result, but you guys had a lot of different movement in the back, whether it be you, Nat, and Paige, but also help with Ryan and Maggie. Can you talk to me a little bit about what goes through your head as a leader when it comes to like rallying different players and maybe calling them to be in different spaces and just working as a back line?
Yeah, I think it comes all down to relationships and communication, and everyone responds differently to different types of communication. So I think it's, understanding what the best way to get the best performance out of somebody is. And sometimes it might be a little harder for one person than it is for another. But at the end of the day, we all understand that we just want each other to have the best game possible. So there might be some tough love at times, but we all know it's coming from a good place. And I think we all respond well to each other during the game. And unfortunately, when we do concede, I know we all take that pretty hard as a back line because that's our job to try and keep the goal out of the back of the net. So I know we'll definitely, feel the brunt of responsibility for that. But we're still growing, we're still learning, and, trying to just keep a solid brick wall back there. And it's going to happen. We're seeing, sparks of it. So I'm very hopeful for anyone that's in the back line to do their job.
And then you guys have North Carolina coming up and then a summer break. Can you reflect a little bit, since we're kind of getting into the halfway point of the season, Fabrice, his first year here with the Dash, and a bunch of players in new positions. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you've seen this team grow and how you've grown individually?
Yeah, I think, we have a really strong culture that we're trying to cultivate here. I think we're really trying to play a good brand of soccer as well. I think the fans are starting to see it in moments, which is really exciting. I think we just have to try and put more full performances together, and then it'll really start to click, and we'll finally see some of the results that we've, been chasing. But yeah, I think there's definitely a positive light overall in the environment in the club. I think, after last season, we're really just looking up and trying to be better in every aspect, and I think we're starting to chip away at that, which is exciting. And then going into the break, I think we just really want to put in a really solid, strong performance leading into that, so we end on a high note at the halfway mark of the season.
And then one last one from me. Fabrice was fired up, yelling ever since before the goal by Barb. Can you talk to me a little bit about how his intensity and his presence helps uplift the team through any situation?
Yeah, I think he definitely brings a lot of energy to the field, which is great. I think at times we need to kind of be the ones to instill that in ourselves, but it is nice to have him on the side, cheering us on, believing in us, and just really pushing us to be the best that we possibly can. I think he just wants us to be successful, and he's really passionate about it. So it's nice to have a coach on the sideline that just wants you to do as best you can.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up with that one. Katie, thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you next time.